told you everything you wanted to know about him.
That wouldn't guarantee that everything was hot button.
I beg your pardon?
Quite exact. Hot button.
I'm sorry, but it appears that Mr. Lange will definitely be eating his lunch today.
Really? Excuse me, you were speaking about the advantages of the personal registration document.
Yes. Personal registration documents often record things which even the particular employee doesn't know about himself. Nous avons
Zapomniak snie, teraz nie myślę,
You will authorize a translation only to those members of the staff who are able to produce their personal registration document.
Hello, everybody!
Hello, everybody. Hello.
You know whose birthday it is today?
Charlie!
Charlie's!
Oh, there's a party going on for him next door, so drop everything and come along. Oh, seems the grocer's got limes. Would you mind running over and getting me 8? Of course.
What are they drinking?
Tequila.
What did you read out of
Oh, yes! You haven't told me yet where does one get those documents?
What? Oh, right, from our chairman, Ellie, of course.
Miss Oena, may I speak with you for a minute?
Later, love. You'll have to wait.
Here.
Where else?
You mean you don't mind leaving me here with all the classified material?
Don't be alone, sweetie. There's a camera in the wall. You're being watched by our staff watcher.
Good gracious. The camera.
Wouldn't be much good if he was actually in here. That way he'd be able to watch only in one office, wouldn't he?
Interesting idea.
Isn't it? And it's mine too. See you later, sweetie.
Do not bother.
Interesting idea. One might make use of this idea in other departments as well.
Not so easy. This thing has to be planned for in advance.
I see. Really stimulating idea. Maria, what's the matter, Maria?
Forgot my purse.
Maria? Do you know Taide?
A bit.
Can you translate?
I'm strictly forbidden to make any translations before I pass my exams.
Yeah, but on my own personal authority, you might try to make a translation, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, you know? What's so funny about it?
You wouldn't understand. It's impossible. That's all.
Maria, what's your name again?
Maria.
That's a lovely name.
Do you like it?
Very much. Maria, just for once, nobody will know about it.
Mr. Gross, somebody might walk in at any minute. Please be reasonable.
Go on, my dear.
And what about the staff watcher?
Whisper the translation to me.
The lines will soon be sold out and Miss Helena will be angry.
Mr. Watcher. Mr. Watcher? Mr. Watcher? Mr. Watcher? Don't you have a cigar by any chance? You must have fallen asleep.
What do you mean, falling asleep?
Well then, why didn't you answer me?
I was testing you.
Testing me? Do you realize who I am? I am the managing director.
한국 문은
What?
한국 문은 하나도
What did you mean by that?
누또
I expect you to come down to me and apologize.
겉들어.
Well,
Well,
what are you going to do about it?
stop to it.
Mr. Cross, may I go get the chocolate? How?
By issuing an order to cancel the introduction of Tyler.
You never issued any order for its introduction.
Then you will do it.
I never issued any such order either, have I, Mr. P? Mr. Cross, may I get the chocolate?
What do you mean?
It was a verbal directive. The introduction of Tyler is in full swing and will naturally go on. May I get the
I will have to report the whole matter to the authorities.
Did you hear that, Mr. P? He doesn't know that the authorities have taken a great fancy to Tydepe,
Well then, why haven't they introduced it in other departments as well, huh?
playing it safe.
I do hope you don't expect me to be traitor to my beliefs.
I do.
How do you propose that?
See this book? Not long ago, it was improperly authenticated by your order. You know what that constitutes? Abuse of authority.
Good God, don't you make yourself sick.
Do we make ourselves sick, Mr. P?
You yourself got me to sign
I
it.
did, I don't see
By
to.
your hints
Well, I
about
wouldn't
the...
bring that up now if I were you.
Why not?
Because it's no extenuating circumstance at all. Just the reverse, in fact.
What are you talking about?
See, both your errors, your banking stamp and your income and mail book, are intertwined in such a way that one greatly multiplies the other.
All right. I will resign.
But we don't want you to.
What do you want me to do then?
That's our business.
Do you seriously think this Tydepe would make the office communication easier?
Mr. Gross, I'm glad our conversation is at last reaching a realistic level. Of course it would. Mr. P, would you kindly offer Mr. Gross some milk? Look here. You yourself know how many misunderstandings, injustices, and injuries can be contained in one single sentence of a natural language. In fact, a natural language knows many more or less precise terms, such as, for example, the term coloured. Now, tell me sincerely, does the word nyet have any such overtones for you? It hasn't, has it? You see? It is exactly this surface in humanity of an artificial language that guarantees its truly human function. After Tydepe comes into use, no one will ever again have the impression that they're being injured, when in fact they're being helped, and thus everyone will be much happier.
You've convinced me.
Mr. Gross, I'm glad you've grasped the demands of the times. And I look forward to our further work together under your expert and enlightened leadership. Well, that's that. Aren't you hungry, Mr. P? I believe that from now on we'll be working very closely together.
We will have to.
I have a better idea. How about I be the director and you my deputy?
What? But the moment ago you said that you were looking forward to working under my expert and enlightened leadership.
You'll be able to use your expertise and enlightenment just as well as a deputy. Now, Mr. Gross, I'll go and get my things, while you will kindly move out of my desk.
Wish, Mrs. Bell. Things do seem to be moving rather fast.
Mr. Gross?
There was nothing else I could do. An open conflict with Miss Bell and her man would have meant that I would be finished.
Mr. Gross?
This way, as the deputy director, I can at least salvage this and that, and perhaps, who knows, perhaps this Dinetta will be
Mr.
a
Graf.
good thing after all.
Mr. Gross?
If we grasp the reins firmly and with intelligence.
Mr. Gross?
What is it?
May I go and get my lunch?
Run along. Why can't I be a little boy again? I would do everything differently from the beginning.
I would like to begin with the interjections and the renderings of the interjection. Boom! How rich and precise is Tadepe even in this marginal sphere?
Sir, I do hate to interrupt you, but I happen to have with me a short didactics, and I was just wondering if you could translate it and read it aloud. It might be of interest to the class.
As regard to an actual dynamic text, I prepared my own authorized specimen. But for the sake of variety, I'm perfectly prepared to address your text as well. That is, provided you can prove your interest in Tadepe is vital and sincere, and you're not just trying to interfere with the class. You may sit down. And sit! Generally speaking, the interjection "boo" is used in a large organization when one employee wants to sham ambush another. Who can tell us how an employee says "boo" to another who's quite unprepared for the danger? Maria! Maria! Correct. And when the male employee is aware of the danger?
Danger menacing an employee who is in full view.
Yeah.
In that case, one says, damn it, it was on the tip of my tongue.
Maria! There! You see how easy it is. Let's take another case, shall we? How would a superior say "boo" to a subordinate to test out his vigilance? Maria! Correct. Let's try again, third time never fails, yeah? How would an employee who's not taking the time to hide say "boo"?
I am afraid I don't know.
Let me help you!
Egg. Again, I do remember now, again.
Wrong, Maria! Wouldn't you mind telling him? Maria.
Huh?
Maria. Egg yet doesn't mean anything at all. There's only two subwords in the word egg yet goose.
The third subword escaped me.
Unfortunately for you, also the first two subwords escaped you. Just like all the other dynamic words I was trying to teach to you only a moment ago. when one considers that the interjections are the easiest part of Tadepe, and my requirements have indeed been minimal, one cannot avoid concluding that yours isn't the average case of mere inattentiveness or negligence, but of a deep and well-disguised doubt in its very sense. Under these circumstances, I can hardly be obliged to continue reading aloud once more from an unauthorized specimen, Schleifen im Schleichensteich!
So much fuss about 3 little words.
Now then, shall we continue? How would a subordinate say boo to a superior on the day specially designed for this purpose, Maria? Correct! You got an A! Let's go!
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I have the lines, Miss Helena.
Would you mind putting them down by the coat rack? That's a good girl.
Toodles.
Is Miss Helena next door?
Yes, they're celebrating Charlie's birthday.
Oh, do you think she would mind coming here for a moment?
I'll ask. Mr. Gross, you're no longer the managing director?
I'm her deputy now.
Oh, forgive me for asking, but what happened?
We simply exchanged our jobs.
Well, deputy director is also a very responsible position.
It is, isn't it? In some ways it's even more responsible than the director's job. Will Miss Helena come?
You'll have to wait a little, I'm afraid.
Come here a moment, will you?
Mr. Watcher,
What is it?
are we friends again?
Oh well, why not?
Mr. Watcher,
What now?
you aren't celebrating?
I'm following the party.
Doesn't look like a long one.
They've just finished the tequila.
Have they? I bet you're shy.
To start with, but then...
And what?
Come on, everybody, let's have some coffee.
That's a thought. Where's Maria?
Our sexy little thing.
Mr. Gross might know!
I?
Don't try to deny. You lust after.
I beg your pardon?
You called her my dear. Stuff what you heard you.
You talk too much, Alex.
Listen, why don't you just shut up and do your watching?
Friends! Maria!
Maria! Maria!
Maria!
Maria!
Leave her alone. She's ironing my dress. I'll make the coffee.
Mr. Gross, you wouldn't mind, would you, if we don't offer you any coffee? You have very little left, you see. No, I don't care for any.
Natalie, Mr. Gross doesn't care for any coffee, so make it 3 cups, but make mine double. So what about a cigar with the coffee?
That's a thought.
Well, where do you keep the coffee?
Coffee coming party!
I have trouble finding it. We never know which one you want to look at.
May I,
I wouldn't advise it. I really wouldn't. They're awfully heavy. They'd sure make you cough.
Just one.
Oh, I mean it. You'd be making a mistake.
Miss Helena.
Don't you call me Nellie, sweetie.
Miss,
What is it?
Miss Nellie, I understand that you can issue me the documents one needs to get the translation authorized.
Duck, tequila. You know, a cigar, that's what I call a living.
And what a cigar.
Where do you get water?
Tell me when I want It's right here. I got a little thirsty and then I
Do you issue the documents?
Yes. To anybody who has not received a memo written in Taipei.
Why?
John right, Eddie.
I should say.
Cups?
Come in! Let's go! I have one! Right here. I never know if you want them. Two ones with the cream ones with the flower prints.
I said why?
Why what?
Why this condition?
Because I cannot be expected to give the personal registration documents to any Tom, Dick, or Harry without making damn sure they don't conflict with the findings in the last audit of his blessed memo.
Why can't he look at his memo and see what it says?
Poor Zara Bridal. Used to smoke only these.
Sugar!
Really, her man.
Sugar!
Why can't he look at his memo and see what it says?
Because I'm forbidden to translate any Taipei text.
Good gracious. What can a staff member do in such a case?
Mr. Bridal laughed out, didn't he?
Zara, simply mad about it.
What can a staff member do in such a case?
He can have his memo translated. Listen, everybody. Today your coffee is
Mr. Stroll, make a translation.
Now,
Only you have the authorization from Dr. Sala. Dr. Sala, in order to issue, to grant you the authorization, you require the registration documents from Nelly. Miss Helena, in order to issue me the documents, you need the translated memorandum from Stroll. Quiet! I am the managing director, and I insist that you show me some respect. You may sit down!
Thank you.
As I've just discovered, any member of our organization can be granted the translation from Thailand only after his memorandum has been translated. But what happens if the memorandum, if the text he wishes to get translated is precisely that memorandum? An extraordinary paradox when you come to think of it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you come to think of it? And I ask you, what can a staff member do in such a case?
He must learn Taipei, Mr. Gross.
Are you here?
Yes, we are.
I didn't hear you come.
We entered quietly.
Have you been here long?
Not long.
Excuse me,
There are things, Mr. Gross, that cannot be excused. And when an official, referring to the activities of our staff, speaks with such malicious innuendo and mean irony about, I quote, vicious circle, then it cannot be excused at all.
Excuse me, but the circumstance I've allowed myself to point out is simply a fact.
Do you refuse to be bullied by facts?
I plead guilty. I took home the bank endorsement stamp for my children to play with. I illegally authorized the purchase of a translation banking book.
Mr. Gross, it seems that under these circumstances, it is no longer possible for you to remain in our organization. Come to my office tomorrow morning. We'll discuss the things connected with your dismissal. George, come out of there. You'll be my deputy. You may leave now. Mr. P, let's go.
Seems the grocer's got fresh cantaloupes. Would you mind running over and getting me 10? If you're quick about it, I'll give you a taste.